Hello and welcome to First Tuesday, sponsored by the Washington State Library. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'd like to introduce our Washington State Library staff. We have with us today Carolyn Peterson and then myself, Jennifer Fenton. And we also have our technical expertise, Non and Jeremy, and they are here to help troubleshoot. And today has been a great example of why we are so happy to have them, as they've been working with me for quite a while on my sound and been helping get other things set up. So thank you, Non and Jeremy. And now I'm going to let Carolyn real quickly introduce next week's program so we can share what's coming next month, and then we'll go ahead and I'll introduce the speaker. Carolyn, did you want to tell them about next month's First Tuesday?
I'd be delighted to. Next month's First Tuesday is one I'm really excited about. It is going to be tips and tricks on presenting a community-wide reads group. Now, many of you have probably done this, and maybe you've done it for several years, and you're ready to hear some new ideas, some new ways of doing it. So we have 3 panelists. One is going to be Teresa Percy from who has done a always does a very creative job out at Port Townsend Library with her staff. In fact, the NEH people tell her that whenever they always refer people to her as a resource to look at what can be done with a community read. So she's a really good one. I think you'll benefit from her. Another one is a school-wide, a district-wide school presentation of what one school district does. North Thurston does a wonderful job of involving their entire community from pre-K all the way up through high school with a concentrated reading event, and they get the whole community involved. It's a really big deal for them, and that's a good one. And then we're going to go over to Eastern Washington and Spokane, which also does a community reads with a slightly different emphasis. And so 3 really good people who've done interesting things, and if your community reads, you're looking for some new ideas, some new thoughts, or just starting it, this will be the program to attend.
Thank you so much, Carolyn, for sharing that. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our presenter today. Linda Jordan is joining us from DHSH to talk about Washington Connection. It is a new benefit portal that hopefully will be very helpful with your customers. So welcome, Linda.
Thank you, Jennifer. Hi, everyone. Thank you for allowing us to give you an orientation on Washington Connection. It's our new benefit portal. The PowerPoint was really designed for an in-person presentation, so hopefully we won't have too many glitches as we click through this PowerPoint presentation. I'd like to start out by explaining that Washington Connection is, do I just click to go on here now, Jeremy? Yeah, I see.
Yes,
sorry.
yeah, wrapped up.
That's okay. There's a glitch on a PowerPoint live. Those would kind of spread out. So all the words are kind of blurred together here, but let me just go ahead and tell you what this is saying here. Washington Connection has a vision. We want to assure that everyone in Washington can meet their basic needs and that they have an opportunity to prosper. So this was the main purpose of the Washington Connection portal. It is a web-based universal benefit application portal. So this will make it easier for low-income families and individuals to apply for and access services and benefits that will help them achieve self-sufficiency and move out of poverty. The Washington Connection benefit portal is a collaboration. So it is a collaboration between DSHS, our community partners, and it's also received support from several philanthropic organizations. Through this portal, residents will be able to easily and securely learn about and apply for available social services. You are here listening to this presentation because you care about the people that you're serving and you care about connecting people to benefits. And there may be people, I know you have computers that people routinely access the public routinely accesses and hit sites like Washington Connection or the old OSA, which is an online service application. So you may be already familiar with this. I would love actually to see if you could click the check mark if you are familiar with the old DSHS site that is the OSA site or online services application. Is anybody familiar with that? Nope. Okay. Well, and I see one person is saying no. Okay, the old OSA site also allowed our customers to access benefits, to apply for benefits. It was an online application. And of course, we have had paper applications. And people that are familiar with that online may be wondering what the difference is between this new portal and the portal that has existed. Well, I'd like to explain what the differences are. And you'll also have an opportunity to ask questions if anything comes in mind during the presentation. But the new Washington Connection portal will provide a single access point and a growing number of resources. So it is not just the DSHS application for benefits that our customers will be able to access, but it will also be other services, for example, other state, city, county, and community resources. So this is going to be the real advantage of Washington Connection. And the goal is that this portal will streamline work and provide clients with direct access to their information. So in the long term, this will connect more people with more benefits. Washington Connection will also serve as a central place where people can find additional information on services and community resources, and that's going to include Earned Income Tax Credit, child support, WIC, basic health, Head Start, federal student aid and housing assistance, tribal services, veterans benefits, foster care services, and vocational rehabilitation. And this is a growing list of services that will be available to our clients through the Washington Connection portal. So we'll be doing a little demonstration of the portal, but let me just move ahead and also tell you that many resources exist that can help clients while they're using the portal. So when we are looking at the portal on this demonstration, also keep in mind that there's an online tutorial that is available for anybody that comes to the website. And the Washington Connection portal is also very advantageous to our partners because it will allow them to set up an account and track the status of benefit applications for their customers. As of July 2011, individuals will be able to log into their account also to see the benefits they're receiving, which will include the dollar amounts, which is another great advantage. Washington Connection agencies can elect to create an account that will enable their staff to submit applications on behalf of their clients, search a client application database, and check the application status for clients. And after a break, we'll transition to talking about what it means to be a partner. But let's start out by looking at a demonstration of the site live. The kind of collaboration partnership with local municipalities that is happening with the Washington Connection portal is really putting Washington State at the forefront of providing services to customers. The Washington Connection's long-term goal is to make more federal, state, and local government services available through the portal. And in July, Washington Connection will be linked to the City of Seattle. So this is a first step, and this will enable Seattle residents to apply for benefits that are provided through the city from this website. As you can see, the URL for Washington Connection is www.washingtonconnection.org. And just as a reminder, as we get started, there are changes. This site is very dynamic, so there are changes constantly taking place on this site. And right now, new applications and reviews can take place on this site, but the city benefits are not available yet. So just a reminder, City of Seattle benefits. Okay, let's get started. Jeremy, could you refresh me on sharing a web application?
Sure, you just press the globe button on the toolbar at the top.
That's right. Thank you.
Is this the one that required the login? Okay.
Yes. Oh, I'm going
we need
to
screen sharing then.
Not do a web tour. I'm going to do a screen sharing. Yeah, and that's the one I need. Is
it's
which
black
icon
screen with
is
green
that?
arrow.
That's right. Okay. Sorry for the little delay here, folks. We actually use a different software to do this, so this is a real learning experience for me here. Okay.
Linda, you're only showing a very small part of the screen. Okay, there it goes.
Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Great. Is it large enough? Do you want me to come open closer a little bit?
It's large enough for me. We've got some smiley faces out there, so I think we're good to go. As long as people can read it.
Great.
Is there anybody that cannot read it? Please use the check marks or the X to say yes or no whether or not you can read it.
Oh, good. Looks like everybody's able to read it. Okay, this is the main page, the welcome page for the Washington Connection portal. We're going to be looking at a few different tools on this page, but just to start off, I want to show you down in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a coming soon. And as you can see, it states right now in July, coming soon, the client benefit account customers will be able to access their personal account information. So right now, it's just for applying, but that is coming soon in July. We are going to take a look first at the Am I Eligible tool. So I'm going to click on Am I Eligible, and this will start out with a little information on filling out the the steps here is step 1, answer a few questions. Step 2, view the results. And step 3 is you can move that information into a full application if you choose to. So I'm going to click Next here in the bottom right corner, and we'll start out answering a few questions. So we're going to use a scenario here, and it's a scenario that you may have seen before. Sally Potter is an unemployed 29-year-old woman who recently lost her apartment. Sally and her 3-year-old daughter Amy Potter are temporarily staying at her sister's home along with her sister's husband and 2 children. Sally served in the military out of high school, and so she used her education benefits to obtain a degree in community health, but her job at a local outreach agency was cut due to their budget, and she's been unable to find another job. Her unemployment benefits terminated 3 months ago. She's depleted her savings. She receives $270 per month in child support. She has $10 cash and $50 checking. So we will start out. Sally's come to the site today to see if she would be eligible for any benefits. We're going to start out by putting in her zip code, and she's going to check I'm homeless because she's living with her sister. And we'll click Next here. Her first name is Sally Potter. She's 29, and she's a female. And 2 people live in her home because she's going to count her daughter here. Now, one thing you might ask is, well, how does she know that? Notice that there's a context-related help on every page. So can you still see that in the application sharing, Jeremy?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, great. Okay, so this context-related help will help Sally every step of the application process. If she has any questions about some of the information that's being asked of her, she can click here and get some direct context-related help. She can also see how far she is as she goes through the application in the status bar above. So notice that she's going to be at 30% here. So we'll go ahead and add her daughter Amy here because this is another person living in her household. And we need to add the relationship, and we'll click Next. She would be able to add more if there were more people, if she had another child or someone else in the household, by clicking that Add More button. Now she's going to answer some questions about herself. On these questions, I'm just going to fill out no on all of these, except this one, which is, has anyone ever served in the armed forces, because Sally did. So we'll go ahead and check yes here. It didn't give Amy as an option because, of course, it determined her age and she's too young. Her household income, we'll go ahead. She's out of work right now. So, oh, I clicked the wrong button there. So we'll say no there. She does get child support. And so Amy actually receives that child support, and it's $275 per month. We'll fill that in and answer no on the rest of these questions. And I'll try not to get too bogged down on these, and we'll just move along so you can see actually the flow of how the website works. Does anyone pay for the following expenses? So this page asks all about expenses, payout expenses, and I'm going to say no on all of these. And cash, yes, we know that she does have $10 in cash. And she also has $50 in her checking account. Now this page is the summary page, and this gives her a summary of what she's entered, and she can also choose to edit this at any point by clicking the Edit button. We'll say Next. And this is the results page. So she's 100% done with the Am I Eligible tool. She can print this page, and she can apply for other services here. And she's also gotten other resources based on her circumstances or the information that she entered. So in this case, she may be eligible for basic food. I'll click there because she will want to apply for that. She may be eligible for medical, family planning. Her children may be eligible for medical. Cash benefits, she may be eligible. But notice too that it's not just the DSHS resources that are delivered to Sally here in the results page, but she also gets information on earned income tax credit because she may be eligible for that. Services to children, she may be eligible for the Early Childhood Education and Assistance Program, and so that information is here. Also, she may be eligible for some veterans benefits or some federal student aid. She may be eligible for housing. So at this point, Sally can start the e-application. And I'm going to go ahead and choose that button. And she gets the option of copying her information directly to an application, or she can say no and start over. So in this case, I'm going to say yes. I do want to just use that information that I just entered. And now it will start with the application process. Again, there's Next. And this page will tell Sally about the application process, her rights, her responsibilities. We'll click Next here. Their rights and responsibilities are also available in all the languages that are listed here. And so this is, she is signing this in essence by starting the application. We'll click Next. And notice that it brought her information in. I'm going to click Next again. And it pre-checked the information Sally indicated she was interested in applying for. I'll go ahead and click Next here. Here's her information, and now she can start entering some more specific information. So let's go ahead and just fill out a little bit of specific information here so that I can show you a nice feature. One of the nice features about this is that an individual can save and finish at a later date. So Sally is going to want to put her date of birth in here. And it is, I can just enter it. And she is divorced. And her social security number. We'll add a social in here for her. And yes, Sally wants to be included in the benefits. She's homeless. Here, what information do I enter if I'm homeless? This will help her out. Again, that's that. And over here, the context-related help that she can receive. And at this point, you can see that she would just continue going through the application and giving some more specific information on what she entered in the Am I Eligible tool. Does anyone have any questions? If you have any questions at this point and you want to raise your hand, go ahead and do so. I see that, oh, okay. Jeannie. Do I need to do anything to hear Jeannie?
No, this is Jean. Sorry.
Oh,
I was wondering about minors. We've had a number of homeless teens coming in our library because they got kicked out of their houses.
Oh, that's a really good question. That's an eligibility question, but that they would be able to go through, there's eligibility specific roles that apply to minor teens, but they would be able to use the tool, just like Sally just used the tool. And then they would get the specific information on their particular circumstances. So it's not going to prohibit them using the tool at all. Does that answer your question without really, because I wouldn't be able to tell you specifically if they'd be eligible for anything, but they would be able to use the tool to see.
Yeah, that answered the question. I was just wondering about referring. I was thinking about referring them right away.
Yeah, absolutely. They can certainly use the tool. I honestly don't know what would come up for them as far as resources, and let's just hope that the resources that are there just continue to increase, you know, and we develop more resources that will be presented to applicants. So,
Linda, this is Carolyn. I have a
Yes.
question. Do you have to be a partner library to be able to do this, or can anyone with access to the web work on this, or do you have to be a partner library?
oh, that's a great question. No, anyone can, if a partner provides a link, and then you can become a level of partner that can also help people through the application process and create an account and track how many of those people are receiving help if you need that information or want that information. But anybody can sponsor the link. It's a public website. Does that help?
Yes, that does. That does. So basically, we have a portal on unemployment issues or hard times issues. So this is something we should put on our portal, in other words. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. And there's just many advantages to becoming a partner. But if you weren't a partner, you could still sponsor the link. And in a sense, that makes you a partner. But if you go through the partner process, you can actually take advantage of a lot more resources for partners that become official partners. Washington
Can you tell us
partners.
how much time and effort it takes to become a partner?
That's a good question, and that's the next presentation. So we'll finish up here, and then we'll move on to that. Are we doing good for time? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the website. And what I'd like to show you is the save and finish. And then I'm just gonna, okay. So I'm gonna save and finish the application right now. Oh, we do need this one piece of information here. Now, at this point, Sally can save the application and leave the website and come back tomorrow or whenever she can to finish it. So there's 3 options to save the application. She can save it with a temporary access code, or she can create a new secure Washington Access account. Now there's advantages to the secure access account, and those advantages are that she would also be able to come back in with the secure Access Washington account and access the application, finish filling it out, and she would also be able to use that account to check benefits at a later date, to check the status of her application. If she forgot her password and she came back to access her account, she would be able to receive some password help. It's a little bit more complicated to create the secure access account because you need an email. And what happens is that when you create the secure access account, an email is generated and you have to click on the confirmation link, and then you can go ahead and create that secure access account. We'll look at that, but first let's look at the temporary account. The disadvantage to the temporary account is that, well, the advantage is she can come back in and finish her application. The disadvantage is that if she forgets her passcode, there's no way to retrieve that information. And if she doesn't use the account in 90 days, the data will be removed from the system. So it's only going to be saved for 90 days. But to create that temporary account, she clicks that link. She's given the temporary access code. She chooses a password, and this helps walk the individual through creating a secure passcode, and then she can save her application. I'm going to actually go back here. Oh, I don't want to do that here. Let's do this. I'm just going to cut and paste this and save my application. And exit now. So now she can go in and access that account with that confirmation code she was given and the password she created. There. Now let's exit now. And let's look at creating a secure access account. There's a link up in the right-hand corner, or as you saw on the last screen, Sally could have created that secure access code at that point too. And this is what creating the Secure Access Washington account looks like. So we'll go ahead and enter some information here. And here's where she will need her email address. And here's what makes a good username. Here's where she chooses a security question that she can use if she forgets her passcode or her password. And she's going to validate now by entering this picture word. Oh, I must have made a typo there. Okay. Well, I must have clumsy thumbs today. Oh, there it did. Okay. It did create it. Okay. So, as you see, before she can use this, she has to respond to the confirmation email. And that's something some clients or customers may not always have an email account. So that's another area that you can help customers with. Is there's a lot of free applications, Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, and you could help them create an account to use for this. Okay, one of the nice things about using having the SAW account is that in the future, Sally will be able to, if she receives benefits, she'll be able to report changes. And she'll also be able to see report changes of circumstances and eligibility reviews. Let's go ahead and take a look at that on the main page. Sorry if I'm floundering a bit. I'm used to having my screen at full size of my monitor, so move things around here. We'll go back to the Washington Connection main page there. And so you can see right here, she can renew her benefits if her benefits expire for some reason, and she wants to come in and renew. She'll be able to do that, and her information will still be in the system if she did an online application. And then she can report a change if she needs to do that. And let's take a quick peek at what that would look like. When she reports a change, she first gets the Federal Poverty Guideline table, and she also gets some information on what kinds of changes she needs to or is required to report. And at that point, she can start entering her information here. Well, I should log back in with her passcode. She wouldn't actually have to do this piece of it. But I want to get you to a screen here. Let's just fill in. Oh, I see a hand raised.
I was actually just raising it because Carly asked a question. She said, if customers have questions, what is the best way to contact the agency, especially if they don't have email?
If they have questions on filling out the application or questions about eligibility. What kind? Both. Okay. Well, a lot. As far as the website itself, there's not a phone number that they can call to get help with the website, but partners will be trained will know about the website and can most likely answer a lot of their questions. There's the help, context-related help, and there's also a great online tutorial, which I'll show you. And as far as eligibility, I think there's actually, they can always come into an office and make an appointment and talk to somebody, or just come in and apply and find out that way. But there's not a helpline, I guess, if that's what you're looking for. And I see another, Carly, did that answer your question? And Meg has a question, how about if they do not know their Social Security number? That's a great question. They can fill it out without, they aren't required to put in their Social Security number. They can fill out the application without the SOCH, and the application ends up being processed by a financial eligibility specialist, and so that that information will eventually have to be provided or found out, but it won't have to. But the application is not contingent on providing that. Did that answer your question? Okay. Thanks for asking questions. I appreciate it. Okay. Let's just say that Jack. In fact, I'll leave that Social Security out. And notice, here's one of the differences between this reporting a change, is it allows the applicant to put in their DSHS client ID number if they have it. But I could leave that SOCH out and the ID number out, and it still allows me to go through the application and complete it and send it off. I'll click Next. And here are the typical types of changes that need to be reported. And then there's one option here, changes not listed elsewhere. So this is a nice feature for existing customers because they can report their changes without having to, they can just report them online without having to go into the office or send something in. And another advantage to reporting the changes this way, because the website is dynamic and it's going to be growing with other services and resources, the change will be given to for example, if that person has benefits through the City of Seattle and they need to report a change that they've changed their address, then the city would receive that change as well as the state. I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint application, so I'm just going to stop this web sharing right now and come back here. I wanted to show you an example. This is the letter that Sally would receive if she requested to create the Secure Access Washington account, and here's the link that she would need to click on. So of course she's going to need to be able to access that email at the same time that she's filling out or creating this account. Okay. Oops, yeah. Before we go on, any other questions? Okay, here's a question from Meg. It sounds like for someone who wants to remain anonymous, they can enter information to see what they may be eligible for. That's a great question and a great point. Yes, that's exactly true. They don't have to save their information. They can find out what benefits they may, or resources they may be available for. Okay, I'm just going to, let's get a little participation so it's not just my voice jabbering on and on. I really appreciate your questions, and let's just see how we do at understanding the information that I put out there for you. Agencies can track the applications of their clients. Or, well, let's start with this. I'm on the wrong one there, sorry. Anyone can apply for public benefits online. You know what? This gives you the answer. So we'll just look at these. Of course, if it was up on a projector screen somewhere, there would be another click, and we'd reveal that true answer. So anyone can apply for public benefits, and that is true. People who have already applied for public benefits can check the status. That is now true. They can, if they used the old OSA site, or if they're using our new Washington Connection portal to apply for benefits, they can go online and check the status of their benefits. The website is likely to change because it is going to be growing, and it's a dynamic website. More resources for Washington residents will be added. Agencies can track the applications of their clients. That's true. So that's one of the things we were talking about, those agencies that sign on to be a partner of Washington Connection and have that partner account will be able to go in and check the status of that, or check the applications of their clients, the status. They'll be able to help them apply. They'll be able to track how many applications they've helped over the last certain period of time and how many of those applications were approved. And this could be really good information for your agency if you're helping customers apply for services. The website is only available in English. That is false. It is currently also available in Spanish and Vietnamese. And I think I may have skipped that slide because it may have not clicked through like I'm used to when it's being, when you can see every separate little piece of information that comes up. So people and agencies will face barriers to using Washington Connection. True or false? Let's get some feedback on that one. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Do you see barriers?
Carolyn, and I think there are always unanticipated barriers. You just don't know until you encounter them. I mean, there's something that's going to be weird.
Yes.
There's going to be some interface with your computer or some interface with, the client is going to have some weird thing, and of course there'll be barriers. Computer literacy, yeah.
Good answer. Good answer. Yeah. And this question is here because we want to make sure that everybody understands that we need your help to determine the barriers. We're not sitting in that library or in that community partner office, and so we don't know the barriers that they are going to be facing until somebody lets us know. Agency barriers could be internet access, insufficient computer equipment or bandwidth. It could be no available staffing. There may be available there may be barriers in that respect. Client barriers could be transportation, illiteracy. There could be language or cultural barriers, and we would love to hear that information from our our partners. And part of this outreach effort is to identify the barriers that exist right now and any future barriers so that we can start addressing them. It looks like it's time. Any other questions?
So it looks like we have a, yeah.
Sue?
Jean had a question, and then Meg had a question.
You mentioned about libraries themselves becoming partners, and so that we could, as I understand, you said something about putting a link on our own web page and being able to count statistics for that. Could you talk about that a little bit more?
Mm-hmm. Well, there is, it looks like we're bumping up against the time as far as looking at what it takes to become a Washington Connection partner, but maybe we could be invited back to give a presentation on that. But
you can keep talking. We don't disappear at 10 o'clock. So if you want to keep talking, if you want to keep talking,
okay.
you can do so.
Okay, I actually saw that time and I didn't want to step on any toes or anything, so I can do that. Oh no, that's okay. Don't. Yeah. So let's go ahead and bring that PowerPoint up. Jeremy, would we be able to bring up the next PowerPoint and we can talk a little bit about becoming a Washington Connection partner, and I can kind of try to quickly move through that instead of being long-winded.
And Linda, while you're waiting for those, there were a couple questions. Meg asked for the anonymous patron if she could help enter all their information to see what they're eligible for and then print out a list of contacts so that they can confidentially contact agencies.
Yes, and that page that delivered those results to Sally, we saw that there's a little button on there that said print the results, and so that's going to print all the information about what she may be eligible for. It doesn't have the amounts she may be eligible for, but it does have the programs and also all the websites to apply for any of those other resources. For example, WIC. And she can print that out right there without saving it or anything and just have those.
Okay, and another quick question is if the slides will be available for people to share with their with other people.
Oh, that's a great question. And I'm sure we could make those available, but also we could make, it wouldn't be me, which may be very good, but we could make a trainer and financial specialist available to come out and give a presentation to any organization or to your library, a group of people at your library, if that would be beneficial. So we can arrange for additional presentations. How the slides will be available, that is a good question. I believe that this Illuminate presentation will be available for anyone too, so that's an option to go back through and see the slides in this Illuminate. Does that help? I would be happy to email some information to anyone. Sharing slides would be great. Good. Okay, I would be happy to email you a PDF document. If that would a PDF document work? If you
can send me a PDF of the slides, I can put that with the Illuminate archive for folks to access.
Perfect. And the reason I say PDF is that will have some additional information too. That I can, as far as the information that's presented. Oh, we're here. Okay, let's just take a quick look here. First of all, some of the advantages of being a partner is partners have local contact for their questions. So if you're a partner, you do have a local contact that you can call. They'll have the opportunity to attend local meetings and network with other organizations and provide feedback. They can get technical assistance and, as I just mentioned, marketing materials as needed. You can also periodically receive updated information in emails and newsletters. So as the site changes and additional features are added, you'll be on an email list to get that information. Let's move here to the next slide. If you become a partner, there are also advantages for your customers, so the people that you're serving. And so let's just look at that. Partners imply that both partners benefit. There's reduced travel and time to get social services because you'll be able to offer them at your library or your site. Eventually, they'll be able to, of course, apply for multiple services with one portal. They can reach customers. You can reach your customers that you're already familiar with. So you can pass. They may not be aware of this, but you can pass that information on to them. So we'll additionally increase the amount of people that we serve. And the Washington Connection website has many links to find other services. Let's move on here. Okay, how can my organization become a partner for Washington Connection? So our regional coordinators, our contract managers and program staff can explain the process and the requirements to join the Washington Connection partners. I'm going to give you a fax number or an email number for somebody that can answer any questions there. Do you happen to know, has the library, are they already a partner?
There are libraries. This is Carolyn, and I worked with a project that works with the, some of them have, I know that Spokane City Library is a partner. I believe King County is a partner. I believe Seattle Public is a partner, and I don't know about any others. Jennifer, are you aware of any others?
I'm not aware. I haven't heard anything, but that I'm pretty far removed from this, so yeah. I might not be the one to know.
Any other people know of any other libraries that have done formal partnership agreements? I think Pierce County was considering it. Pierce County Library. I don't know about that. Anyone else know about those? Any other libraries that have formally become partners? Can you give us an idea of how much time? Because I remember talking to, how much time and effort is this going to involve if the library wanted to do this. Many of our libraries are very interested in cooperating closely with employment security. So how much time are you talking if you became a full partner?
Well, there's two different service levels. So there's the host organization, which doesn't take very much time at all. They display posters and printed marketing materials. They provide the icon on the desktop, and they provide applicants with assistance to answer questions about the benefit portal. So just the kinds of things that we just looked at. There's the service level 2, which is an assisting agency, and they actually provide applicants with assistance to complete and submit the online application. So to do that, they have to complete a data share agreement, secure access Washington accounts, and the contractor intake form and non-disclosure forms. And then besides the service level, so it would depend on whether you chose the service level 1 or the service level 2. Then there's also limited access, so the address won't be published and public access. Yeah, that's so. In other words, would you be a published access point, or would it be limited? So it would just be your customers coming in and then they saw that you could provide these services. Or would you choose to be published so that people knew specifically, well, I could go here to apply and get help. So that's another, you would make that choice of whether you wanted the service level 1 or 2, and then whether you wanted limited access or public access. And the current and new partners complete a registration form. So this is the link I was looking for. Okay, right here. It is www.dshs.wa.gov Service Form Community Partner.
Say, I wanted to thank you for staying on and doing this. I'm looking at the list of many of these people, and these are folks whose customers are long, long ways away from centralized resources, and they have to drive, and many times there's only one, in-person place. So having the libraries in the community, this is very, very helpful for us, and I wanted to thank you for bringing it to us. This is stuff that they can use to help customers in their community so they don't have to drive 50 miles, they don't have to drive 40 miles, they don't have to drive. So thanks for this.
Well, thank you for asking. I didn't think we would have time, so I wasn't really very versed in giving you this information, and I'm glad you asked. I'm glad it's helpful. And are there any other questions?
Jeannie has one down there in chat.
Oh, I see it. Is there info on Washington Connection site about becoming a partner and who to contact? Actually, I think that this URL could answer that. Does that answer it for you, Jeannie? I think that question might have been before we found this URL.
You mentioned an email, somebody to contact an email address or something, and I didn't know, or if it's all on the website or on one of these websites.
Well, yes. What I'll do is I will give that to Jeremy, a list, and make sure that you have access to it, because there are people in every area geographically that do that, and since everybody's all over in this presentation, I'll get that information and post it with this. Will that work, rather than taking everyone's time to
that would be great.
round it up right now? Okay.
We can also, if you send it to either Jennifer or I, we can publicize it to the first Tuesday's list as well. We can email it out to the listeners.
That's what I'll do. Thank you. Very good.
Well, thank you. Appreciate this. Any other questions? Looks like folks are saying thanks a lot.
Okay, well, thanks for letting me come, and sorry for the little glitches here. This is a learning curve for me to use this program.
This went very smoothly. It's
Okay.
not bad.
Okay.
Thank you, Linda.
Okay, thanks everyone.